Hello, Pernille. I want to talk about what I have learned in classes about Britain. I have learned a lot. I have learned about Britain geographically, the school system, hooliganism, and a bit of the multicultural society. Geographically, the UK occupied the major part of the British Isles and includes the island of Great Britain, the northeastern one-sixth of the island of Ireland, and many smaller surrounding islands. The world's seventh largest island country. The school system. In Britain, they have 11 years of teaching duty. From the age of 3 to 5 years old, you go to nursery school. From age 5 to 11, it's primary school. From 12 to 16, it's secondary school. And from 17 to 18, it's advanced school. We have learned about a college called Eton College. Eton College is a private school in Eton in England. The exclusive school is for boys between the age 7 to 11 years old. Their parents pay £270,000 for attending Eton College. The college is thus the sixth most expensive HMC boarding school in the UK. It is a prestigious and sought boarding school, and the children who attend the school studies there so they can get a good education afterwards. We have seen a documentary from Eton College. Most of the boys come from Britain, but around 12% of the boys join the school from abroad, Asia and the continental Europe. In the documentary, there was a boy from Shanghai. The documentary was following some boys and their families about their stay at Eton College. The documentary focused on the bright side of Eton College and it was like for the parents to send their children from home in a very early age. We heard about the school. We saw that many of the little boys were nervous when they first started school, but most of them got used to being away from home and their parents. I think there are many students who has gone home, but it just don't appear in the documentary. The parents to the students place great emphasis on high school education and have a lot of focus on the children to become proficient and enter a good school. Many famous people have educated from the school. 19 prime ministers included David Cameron. He is a former prime minister. The economic crisis have affected private education in Britain. Less and less can afford private schools today. It's only 7% members from the public that have attended at private schools. I want to talk a little bit about Green Street hooligans. In England, hooliganism is really prevalent and has existed since the early 1960s, and it's much more prevalent in England than in Denmark. Hooliganism is a concept for football fans who use violence in a football match, and it's often when two teams playing against each other. Then the fans from each other's of the teams fight against each other, and that makes often a big fight. Hooliganism arrange often an agreement about to have a fight before the match is playing on the stadium, and then they have made two groups of each team, and then the groups are fighting against each other. There is often a leader in every group who regime. In classes we saw the movie Green Street Hooligans. The movie is about a young guy called Matt. He gets thrown out of Harvard for something he's not done. He then enters a filthy environment of hooligans as he visits his sister in London. And the main character is called Matt, like I said before, and he studies as a journalist. He gets to talk to his sister's boyfriend's brother, and then they become good friends. He gets into a bad environment and makes some friends. Matt ends up becoming a hooligan himself and even going out to fight football games. They end up in a very serious fight, and his friend Pete dies. I think hooliganism is a bad thing, and I think it's a weird thing fighting for fun. I think that people become hooligans for the community and for making friends for life. In the movie they say that they always have each other's backs, no matter what. Otherwise it can be a recognition to themselves, it can give great self-confidence, or some hooligans maybe think they are part of something bigger. Otherwise, it could be the violence that some people like and get justifies. I think hooliganism should stop, but I don't think that you ever can prevent hooliganism. They already have done something to stop hooliganism. For example, Pete said in the movie that they are the most monitored country in the world. Also, the police are very aware of the whole situation. Multicultural society. In prison, there are many different cultures and different people, and in some areas, racism is greater than others. Britain has still big problems with big racial inequality. Change is still needed, and we're still not a society where there's room for anyone. We saw a documentary where a female journalist, Tamana, and a man who was supposed to pretend to be her husband. They moved to Bristol to make an exam to see if they would be subject to racism. They moved to Bristol, which is a council estate. A council estate is a building complex containing a number of council houses and other amenities such as schools and shops. That resulted in that every time Tamana and Emil leave their house, they was abused. Tamana was being assaulted, and stone was thrown at her. Emil got punched in the face. Tamana said that she has been abused over 50 times during the trial. Tamana said that every time she got out on the street, people says Paki or threatens to bomb her or other violent things. I think Britain needs to make stricter rules about racism and take it more seriously. I think people can prevent racism if people get better at saying stop or that's not okay. If you hear some being racist, I think it's society's duty to tell each other what's right and wrong. We still have similar problems in Denmark. I think in most places there will always be some racism, and I think we as a society need to respect the different societies and all the different people, regardless of race. And that was all I have to say. Goodbye.